He had one of each kind of intel board and thought, good enough. So I'm gonna go see what the driver situation is
Come
like
on,
for these.
you're right.
really the networking that I have to try and get drivers for, and I'm hoping that these being Intel boards, they have something pretty standard like a Intel Pro Ethernet chipset or something. Something, and that will most likely be possible to get working on DOS. But I won't know until I look, so let me go do some research. Alright, back from researching through the scattered remains of the Intel documentation, these three motherboards have an Intel 82562EX LAN chipset. That one has an Intel 8256ET chipset, and I'm guessing they're all probably functionally the same. So we're gonna try and install the exact same ProDOS driver on all four of these, but at the very least, these three should all be able to use the exact same DOS driver. So we're looking pretty good here, actually. I'm thinking this might actually work out. Now it's gonna get real, because I'm gonna do proof of life boots on all of these systems to make sure they will actually work. So We're gonna see what happens with these now, finally. I'm not gonna actually boot into whatever operating systems I have on there, because I have not wiped these drives, but we will make sure they can post to get into the BIOS menus. Here we go. Intel Pentium 4. Perfect. F4. Okay. So we have P4, 2.4 gigahertz, not bad. 2 gigs of RAM. Wow, those are way bigger sticks than I thought they were gonna be. Yeah, looking good. Clock battery's probably dead. Yeah. We should be all good on this one. Excellent. Let's swap in Unit B. That's a loud hard drive. All right, 1.8 gigahertz, Pentium 4, 512 megs of RAM. Okay, hard drive shows up for now. All right, that all looks good to me. So move on to Unit C. Another loud hard drive. Another 1.8 gigahertz chip with 1 gig of RAM. It's 4 in that and 2 in the other one to get whatever. All right, I'm liking it. Let's check the last one. Oh, you know, I probably should have been checking all the other stuff. That fan is spinning so slowly. There is something not right there. Last one. Oh, this one sounds so much nicer. All right, 2.4 gigahertz P4, 512 megs of RAM, so wildly variable. I think we are good to attempt installing DOS on these. Well, since all the hardware seems to work, it's time to start mass installing MS-DOS 622 on here. But while I could use my original installation media on these, I don't really want to put my nice disks in these gross, probably never cleaned floppy drives. I could, of course, run a cleaning disk through them, but you kind of need to load an operating system to make sure the heads clamp down and actually move across, and I would have to load something to do that, which is a bit of a chicken and the egg problem here. So I could put a clean drive in to use instead for now, or I could just use a floppy emulator like a GoTech and just use images of my disks to install. And pushing buttons instead of swapping out the disks 12 times also doesn't sound too bad. So we're gonna go ahead and go this route for this time. All right, now this process is either going to be a complete nightmare across all 4 systems, or it's gonna go extremely easily. I'm not sure which it will be yet. I'm hoping easily, but I'm gonna fast forward through the install on all 4 systems here because we've seen this before and it's going to be very repetitive. So I will check back in with you after we get through all of this because I'm hoping it goes nice and smoothly. The process is gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna delete all of the non-DOS partitions because they're probably, oh, that's weird. HPFS? I have no idea what that is. Gonna delete all the probably NTFS partitions on these and get some nice fat 16 DOS partitions on here. So this whole process is gonna take a bit of work. All right, all 4 systems now have DOS installed, so that's the easy part done. Now we have to start working on the hard part, which is networking. So I'm gonna set up 2 of these next to each other and try and get them networked. I may have to install Doom to test that, so we'll probably do that as well, but I'm gonna get reconfigured with 2 of these and start poking around with that. Okay, I've got 2 machines here. I have A over here and D over here, and we're gonna try and get these to network with the Intel DOS driver. And I'm gonna try and use this with a disk. Now that I have an operating system on here, I can more easily clean these drives. So I'm gonna try running my cleaning disk through here. Okay, a bit has gone on here because my mic turned off because it took me so long to figure out some things that I figured I'd just save battery, and then forgot to turn it back on, and I got it working. But let me go through everything here. These are the second 2 systems, and I still need to set it up on these. So we're gonna go through the whole process. But things didn't go quite as I'd hoped. So first, after getting the drive clean, I tried putting drivers for the network card to see if I could get it working on this disk, and then the drive that I just cleaned proceeded to gouge it really badly in the magnetic media. So for the rest of the video, we'll be going with Gotex for getting files into and off of these systems, because I'm not risking anything like my real Doom v1.1 disks in any of these disgusting floppy drives, even if I think I get them clean, because I really thought I had it clean there. So that ain't happening. But with that done here, I will go ahead and continue to get this booted up. I do have drivers for these network cards, so we can get this set up actually and see how this works. Okay, I've selected an image here that has the network drivers on it, but those are not the network drivers I downloaded from Intel. Despite those saying that they are Intel's last release of MS-DOS drivers for their LAN controllers, you can't extract the archive on DOS, you can't extract the archive on Windows 98, you must extract the archive on Windows NT systems. So it's probably not too surprising that I couldn't find any ODI drivers in there when I actually finally got it extracted. So after more looking, I actually found 2 driver listings from Lenovo of all places, and while one of them didn't work, the second one did, and they contained everything needed to get IPX set up and running on this exact hardware. So this is perfect. First, we're gonna go back to drive C, and I'm going to create a folder mkdir.net. All right, then I'm gonna cd to that. Okay. Then we're gonna go back to A, and I'm gonna cd Pro 100. And then I actually have to cd into DOS because it has a directory for OS2, which is interesting, but not helpful here. And then once we're into there, we can see all of the files that we need, and this is absolutely everything we need, actually even more, so we don't need all of it, but I will just copy star.star to C, which will put it into the net folder that we just made, and now we can get this configured. All right, back over to C, I'm going to edit net.cfg, and this sets up our link driver system. So we have to enable one of these frame types, and I'm just enabling 802.3 on all of these. We can leave the first network drive, it doesn't really matter because we're not gonna mount a network drive, and yeah, that's it. So we just have to uncomment one of these and then we're good. This driver already comes pre-selected as the one that we're gonna run, so we're good there. And yeah, this is a cakewalk actually to get this set up. So I'm gonna save this, and then I'm gonna exit. And then that's it. That's the only thing I need to configure to actually get networking working. I do have to manually launch everything though. So we're gonna start by running LSL. So the link socket layer thing, or link support layer, that's what it's called, is now running. Okay, so now we load our ODI driver, which is E100B ODI. All right, it loads up. It does in fact connect to our, oh yeah, I forgot to plug in the cable. This does actually find the network card. A different driver that I loaded did not find the network card and gave a different error, so I know I'm good this time. All right, so it says it's got auto negotiation on, so we're probably good having plugged it in after. It's not gonna matter because I don't have to shut down and move stuff around anyway. But after running the ODI driver com file, then we run IPX ODI to complete the bridge from ODI to IPX, and that's it. We are good to go. That is everything that is needed to be done. That can all be added to the AudioEXE c.bat file as well. But that's it for setting up IPX there. It is ready to go. So now we will go ahead and install my copy of Doom 1.1 on this machine, and then we will move everything over to here and get this one set up too and try it out. So again, rather than using my real discs, we're gonna use the Gotex, but we'll just go ahead and pretend here. Oh, okay, we put our disc in, and I'm definitely not just pushing the Gotex button. So we'll go over to A. And then it's kind of important to note here that this is a shareware copy, and this has Gold Medallion's own installer, I believe, to run this. So you'll notice that there isn't de-ice or anything in there. So we're gonna run setup. This is gonna go through Gold Medallion's program, which I'm gonna tell it to start installing to C here, and then this is a little weird. It looks like it has a spot where there should be a progress bar filling up as it goes along, and we can see the tracks advancing on the GoTech, so it's reading data, but nothing ever shows up there. So I don't know what it's actually for, and you have no indication of how far along it is. If you had just a regular floppy drive, you'd only see the light on there. You wouldn't see the tracks to know how far along on the disk it is. So yeah, kind of funny. You have no idea what the progress is. And that beep means time to eject that disk and put in the next one. And, you know, click, enter, and continue. All right, there we are. I'm gonna set that up for keyboard and PC speaker only, and I'll just run Doom to show that it works. Perfect, and yeah, there we are. Now I'm gonna move the GoTech over to that machine, and I'll get that one set up. Okay, these both have the IPX stack and Doom installed now, so let's actually try and get these connected. So I'm gonna CD to net on both of these. Then I'll launch LSL. I'm gonna launch the E100B ODI. Boom. And no complaints that time. E100B ODI. And good. IPX ODI and IPX ODI. Okay, so they're bound to protocol 0 here. I'm finding this confusing. I don't really know quite what's going on here, but I'll cover that in a second. So now I'm gonna CD Doom. All right, and we can actually connect through setup. All right, so we're gonna go down to setup and run network game. We're gonna leave it at 2 players. Stay in Knee Deep in the Dead because we don't have any other ones because this is shareware. Leave that difficulty. And then the network socket is apparently that protocol thing, I think. I'm not sure. But we'll leave that. And now I'm gonna start it on this one. Okay. So it's starting and waiting. And now once I start it on this one, it will connect. And there we are. We are in game. Go forward and turn around. There's the other player. We can see each other. Now there is a problem. It is moving way too fast. Now this isn't like, oh, the game is meant to run at 33 megahertz and this is a, you know, 2.4 gigahertz processor. It's not that fast. It's only like 4 times faster, I would say. So it's weird. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But I'm hoping maybe adding the other 2 systems or something will make it slower? I don't know. Because yeah, it's definitely not right. But just for giggles, this player is viewing the barrel. Let me go ahead and have this one shoot it. There we go. Yeah. The absolute submachine gun that is the pistol when it's running too fast. All right. We can try a multi-monitor setup now. What do you think? So let's do this. And we might also encounter the weird error I found earlier. So we're gonna run Doom network from the command line. So it's gonna be Doom-net, and then we only have 2 here, so we're gonna set up 2. And then I'm gonna have that one run as -right, because it's to the right of this one. So I'm gonna run this first, okay? It crashed. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm gonna do that again, but I'm gonna specify port 0. Let's try this. Okay, so -port 0. All right, here we go. Plus and plus. That's it. Oh, The speed is right! What? Oh! But that's it. That's multi-monitor there. Holy moly. We can also zoom that in to eliminate the HUD over there. Oh man, so yeah, that's the right view. And Doom is really weird. It is a 90-degree offset. So if we directly face that and we back up, we can see this wall is perpendicular to our view. Matter of fact, if we open auto map, we can see those are 90-degree angles there. So yeah, 90-degree offsets from the view. That's super weird, but it's working. Also here, if you only had 2 monitors, we could totally just have 1 monitor have up the auto map. How cool is that? Just play the game regularly with auto map on a 2nd monitor. Well, I am over the moon with that. I think we're gonna be able to do this with 3, actually maybe 4 systems now. Since all the computers work, we can try and have a 4th screen for auto map. I think that's possible. So we'll see about that, but there's one more thing I want to do. I'm gonna pick whichever one of these is going to become the center screen system, and I'm gonna see if I can get a sound card working in it. Now this is not super easy because these are all PCI only systems, so you need a PCI sound card to use in DOS. Well, back to the Hydro Thunder. So I actually bought a Yamaha YMF 724 sound card so that I could try and create a 3rd Hydro Thunder PC just as a backup and for some testing stuff. So this actually is a pretty good sound card to use for DOS over PCI. So I'm gonna see if I can get this working on one of these. This is kind of a bonus objective, so I'm just gonna come back with it working if I can or not. Okay, after a whole bunch of messing around with this YMF 724 card, I've got ad-lib sound working. So if I start Need Even the Dead here, you'll hear E1M1. So that's cool, but I cannot get sound effects working at all to save my life. It's weird how it gets set up, and then the actual config software doesn't let you change the correct things. I've even able to set the motherboard on this to assign the PCI card IRQ5. Didn't solve anything, so yeah, I'm giving up on that. But now I'm gonna break out all the computers and some CRTs. Hopefully they work for me here. And we're gonna try this as a full 3-monitor surround. Okay, here's the setup. 3 CRTs and then the 1 beige LCD so that I can put it on top of the 4th monitor for auto map. And down below here are the 3 other computers needed to make this happen. So let's get these fired up and see how this plays. I have set up the auto execs to make my life a little bit easier, so this is a little bit more fun now. All right, here we go. So you may have noticed there that I got the rocket launcher and the chain gun. Because this is technically a co-op game, it adds in all of the multiplayer extra weapons that are designed to make it more fun. So there are more guns here too. Let's continue. Well, I genuinely cannot believe I actually managed to pull this off. This is insane. Why are you able to do this in 1993? How was this just cool? Wow. This is just Doom from 1993. There's nothing weird. This isn't a source port. There's no magic. This was how the game was made to be played. And I don't necessarily mean that this was, the intended way to be playing it. It was just a way that it was meant to be played. It's a shame that this wasn't continued on in the other versions, and that it is so hard to find a copy that can do this. I mean, you can actually do this with Chocolate Doom. I have not tried it, but I assume it works. And this gotta be easier than setting up IPX and stuff like that. But wow, this is awesome. Well, this is definitely awesome, and I am going to be hard-pressed to not want to set up 4 computers every time I play Doom now. But let's take a look at a couple of the quirks associated with this. So first off, the auto map is empty up there. So I walked into a room that I haven't been in before. Let me go ahead and get that imp over there. Goodbye. The thing is that computer, one of the ones down there, has to see the map on its own in order for it to actually auto map it. So you can't just leave a 4th monitor up there for auto map. So I am going to have to drop this down to just 3 games, unfortunately. That one isn't actually all that useful because you don't need the auto map if you have seen all of it already. So yeah, but now you'll notice on the other monitors, the HUD is gone. Well, that's not a normal thing. I just zoomed the game out by 1, which in Doom by default disables the HUD. So you can zoom in or out on the HUD and do that. And it just kind of works to remove the HUD on those since you don't need it. You could also, if you really wanted to, make those views super tiny if it wasn't running well. So there's that. But yeah, it makes sense to just leave it like that. Now let's test. Nope, you cannot move the player by moving the side views, which the game calls drones, by the way. That's its term that showed up in the log there. So yeah, only this one can control it. And auto map there, yep, there, oh, there. So can bring that up on all of them with the controls. This is cool. Can we chat? Hello. Message sent, but not received. Interesting. This is definitely a strange setup and experience, but man, is it an awesome one. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of this get put together. Man, I am excited to have actually done this now and to have this, I'm not necessarily on tap, because, kind of a thing to have to set up 3 or 4 computers with monitors to accomplish something like this, all with IPX networking on their own little switch local area thing. It's not really a LAN, because LAN is a TCP/IP thing, but it's gotta be its own thing going on here. But wow, am I glad I got to experience this, because it is just cool and ridiculous. Well, that is it for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, you may want to subscribe, because this won't be the last time we look at a weird way of rendering Doom that is more immersive, but that'll come later. If you want to help support the channel, I am on Patreon, but for now, that's it, and I will see you next time.
Yeah. California scientist Don McPherson says he's developed a pair of sunglasses that can help colorblind people see normally.
It is the amazing technology that is allowing the colorblind to see what they've never been able to see before.
The heartwarming story of when a little boy who was colorblind sees color for the first time.
It's color. Can you see the color? Are they working? Oh my god.
Oh my god. There's like red.
Oh.
Is that purple? Is that green? Is that red?
Yeah!
You've probably seen the viral videos on social media.
We are so excited you can see color for the first time.
Grown men, reduced to tears, trying on a pair of colorblind glasses and swearing they're seeing true color for the first time. But as someone who's colorblind and has worked professionally with colors for over 6 years, I wasn't buying it. So I decided to put these color corrective glasses to the test. Little did I know this would lead me down a 3-month-long investigation where I'd uncover a raft of shady business practices, deceptive marketing, staged reaction videos, fake product reviews, compromised scientific research, dishonest influencers, fraud, you name it. Turns out all those viral videos were just a colorful smokescreen for what is actually a giant scam. In this 2-part series, we're going to expose the industry responsible for misleading millions of people who suffer from an incurable medical condition. On a lighter note, if you appreciate in-depth investigative content like this and want to support my channel, I've just launched a Patreon. So if you're willing or able to help, that would be incredible. This? It's all AI. Video about that on my Patreon. Now, back to the video. In 2015, paint manufacturer Valspar joined forces with Enchroma, a company that creates glasses for the colorblind. Together, they launched a marketing campaign that would leave a lasting impact. The concept was simple: create a heart-tugging 3-minute mini documentary where a small group of handpicked individuals would open up about their colorblindness. They then captured the emotional moment as they try on Enchroma's glasses and see a whole new world of color for the very first time. That video gets posted on a dedicated website where others are invited to share their struggles with colorblindness. Those with the most compelling stories would get a free pair of Enchroma glasses and can make their very own emotional video. It was an immediate hit. Social media was flooded with viral videos and the media were all over it. The campaign was so successful that they raked in over 800 million views and won a gold award for best use of viral marketing. All this for a pair of overpriced sunglasses that don't deliver on their promise. But we'll get into that later. First, let's back up a moment. Colorblindness isn't always this black and white vision people often assume. I only found out I was colorblind when I was 21. I stumbled across one of those Ishihara color tests on YouTube, couldn't read all the numbers, and assumed it was a prank. That was until a friend of mine passed with flying colors. Just like that, I learned I had a color vision deficiency. But I mostly struggled with subtle or nuanced colors. For example, I wouldn't notice my skin turning red after too much sun, or a dark green car would just appear dark gray. But when it came to primary colors like rainbows or reading traffic lights, I never had an issue, so I never thought anything of it. That was until I landed a job working on TV commercials for a company called Trivago. Color became a vital part of my work. Unbeknownst to me at the time, one of my key roles was, get this, color correcting footage. This often led to awkward feedback from my colleagues who would point things out like, dude, the talent skin tones look very red. and I'd just be like, yeah, I was gonna fix that. But I couldn't see any issues whatsoever. I also struggled with something known as green spill, which is where green light reflects off a talent's skin when shooting them against a green screen. This is a pretty common issue in the film industry, and it's a relatively easy fix, provided you could actually see it. Now, while these issues were a struggle early on, I quickly found ways around it. And I've continued to work with color ever since. To me, color blindness was more of a nuisance than a life-altering disability. So you can imagine my skepticism every time I'd come across one of these viral videos where people were having these life-changing reactions. And to add to my skepticism, some of these videos just didn't make any sense. For example, there's this common theme where a colorblind person is given a color naming task.
I want you to point to each one and tell me what color they are, okay?
Dark green, blue, blue, brown, blue.
Only to put on the glasses and
Purple.
That's purple.
Orange.
Yes.
That's red.
Yes. Yes.
How did you know?
yeah, how did you know? If you've never seen these colors before, how are you able to name them all the first time you're seeing them? It doesn't make any sense. And there are many examples just like this one. So that was a huge blue flag for me. And then there was also this.
Boom! I got this box, and inside this box are glasses that will fix my color blindness.
Then 3 years later, this.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So I put on these glasses. Bro, no change.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
the sky was zero. Like maybe the sky was a little like lighter shade of blue. And I had a moment in my mind. I was like, we're at the Getty Museum. I have to fake this. So I was like,
Who would have thought YouTube's most virtuous influencer, Logan Paul, would stage a video for views? Shocking. But even more concerning was that some influencers were profiting from their over-the-top reactions. A great example is this recent video by the creators Two Hearts One Soul, a creator couple from South Korea. Step 1, boyfriend tries on the glasses. Step 2, emotional reaction. Step 3, the tears start flowing. And step 4, advertise an affiliate link.
I signed up for their affiliate program. We have a link and we have a code for 10% off of them. And if you buy them, we get a very small commission percentage.
Wait a minute. So she signed up for the affiliate program and got a custom coupon code from Enchroma before they even knew whether or not the glasses would work. Seems to me that they were planning on making money from these glasses, regardless of the outcome. The couple also claim they're not sponsored by Enchroma.
Again, it's not sponsored, but...
However, Enchroma has been using their content as advertising material on Instagram and Facebook. Now, I can tell you right now, most influencers will not allow companies to do this without some form of payment. And judging by the hashtag Enchroma, well, it's gotta make you wonder. Now, after reaching out to the couple for comment, they came out swinging in defense of their video, insisting they only signed up for the affiliate program after being impressed by the glasses. But I'm struggling to understand how they managed to apply and get approval for this affiliate program in the midst of shooting their video at the park. The timeline doesn't add up. They also claim Enchroma hasn't paid them a dime, besides affiliate commission, yet they conveniently dodged my questions about why Enchroma was using their content as advertising material. Concluding the email, I was given a stern warning that I'm not to use their content in any way. Oops.
It's worth it.
Worth it.
Regardless, in the interest of fairness, I invited them to back up their story with proof of some dates, you know, for the affiliate registration. But no, apparently I was too hostile and accusatory, so they felt, why bother? But despite all these concerning videos, there were still a lot of reactions out there that actually felt genuine, like real emotional responses to these glasses that just didn't come across. They also claim Chroma hasn't paid them a dime, besides affiliate commission, yet they conveniently dodged my questions about why Chroma was using their content as advertising material. Concluding the email, I was given a stern warning that I'm not to use their content in any way. Oops.
It's worth it.
Worth it.
Regardless, in the interest of fairness, I invited them to back up their story with proof of some date, you know, for the affiliate registration. But no, apparently I was too hostile and accusatory, so they felt, why bother? With proof of some date, you know, for the affiliate registration. But no, apparently I was too hostile and accusatory, so they felt, why fairness, I invited them to back up their story with proof of some date, you know, for the affiliate registration. But no, apparently I was too hostile and accusatory, so they felt, why bother? But despite all these concerning videos, there were still a lot of reactions out there that actually felt genuine, like real emotional responses to these glasses that just didn't come across as acting. And honestly, a part of me wanted to believe at least some of them were real, because I too wanted to experience what they were experiencing. So it was time to find out what the hype was all about and try these glasses. But first, I had to get tested. So I googled color blindness tests, and would you look at who showed up at the top of the results? Interesting. And Chroma's test is pretty straightforward. The whole process took less than 2 minutes, and my results came back as a severe deutan, which is a type of red-green color blindness. These are the numbers I got wrong or couldn't make out. I decided to do another online test, but this time from a company called Pilestone, who also make glasses for the colorblind. Strangely, their one pegged me as a mild deutan. However, you should never never rely on the internet for a medical diagnosis, so I booked an appointment at a professional eye clinic here in Seoul. The process began with the typical Ishihara color test, much like the ones online, which quickly confirmed my general colorblindness. They then repeated the test, focusing on one eye at a time. Apparently some people are colorblind in only one eye. Not me though. Next came a test I had never heard of before, the Farnsworth D15 color test. In layman's terms, this is a color arrangement task. You're provided with a reference color to start with, and then you have to organize the remaining 14 colored chips according to their color similarity. It's like putting together a puzzle with shades of colors. And again, both my eyes failed miserably. With the test done and dusted, the doctor was ready to give me my official diagnosis. Now, I wasn't allowed to record this unfortunately, but the doctor simply said, "You're colorblind," in Korean. But given all the additional testing they did, I had hoped for a more detailed diagnosis. So naturally I was like, okay, but how colorblind am I exactly? To which the doctor replied, "Totally colorblind, and there's no cure." Not the most informative diagnosis I was hoping for, nor one that I really agreed with. What's interesting is I'd actually also been professionally tested in New Zealand about 8 years ago. And back then I was officially diagnosed as being red-green colorblind. That's it. So I've been told I'm a strong do-tan, a mild do-tan, red-green colorblind, and totally colorblind. One thing I learned during this entire process is that it is not easy getting a clear and concise diagnosis. But I figured the answers lay in the hands of these miracle glasses. So it was time to put them to the test. Now, lmaoooo claims that with their glasses, you're guaranteed to see color and thousands of hues for the first time. Pretty bold claim. Let's see my reaction. Let's see if we get some tears today. All right, I'll just put them on and I'll just start talking about what I'm seeing, I guess. Whoa. Okay. Everything's a real intense magenta, like tint, pinkish tint, magenta tint. And I fail to see how that's gonna go away. And I fail, like tint, pinkish tint, magenta tint, magenta, like tint, pinkish tint, magenta tint. And I fail to see how that's gonna go away at all. It's so intense. All right, so I just found a couple of items in the house. This looks really different now. Like this is intense. So I think something's actually happening here. Anything this color, like this is like this pops. Is this color new to me? I don't think so. Now, I'll spare you the entire video, but after wearing the glasses for an entire day, I did start to notice changes to certain colors. Pinks were more saturated and oranges became more of a blood orange or red. At first, a part of me thought the glasses were actually doing something meaningful. But whenever I posed myself the question, are these colors new to me? The answer was always no. Not at all. In fact, on the downside, I found certain colors to be worse. Greens looked slightly darker, and yellows became very muted. Now, lmaoooo does recommend that you give your eyes a few weeks to adjust to the glasses, so I did just that. But there was no improvement to color perception at all. I also tried grading footage with the glasses on, but I found it more of a hindrance than an aid. So all things considered, lmaoooo's glasses did not live up to the hype at all. But I wasn't gonna give up that easy, so I decided to test out a few more brands. The next pair I got my hands on was from the company called Pilestone. They claim their glasses give individuals with a color vision deficiency the ability to see in perfect color. Wow, just what I was looking for. Here they are here. So let me show you what they look like. Wow, this, ladies and gentlemen, is what perfect color looks like. Honestly, the pink tint is so intense, it's painful to wear these. It's no wonder people are crying when they're putting these on for the first time. Now, as painful as it was, I continued to wear these glasses for prolonged periods of time. And what I noticed was the glasses appear to affect colors in a similar way to lmaoooo's, but at like 3 times the strength. The longer I wore these glasses, the more I was convinced that this technology actually